Reginald the gentleman fox and Marshmallow the maid. Briarwood was a town where there were two distinct social classes, the upper class and the lower class. The elite had a great sense of entitlement. They did not recognize they were from a privileged background. They talked in an assertive manner and lashed out at anyone from the lower class who was not courteous to them. An aristocratic fox named Reginald fell in love with a maid who was working at his mansion. Reginald and Marshmallow soon got married. Her radiant smile at the wedding added to the felicity of the occasion. But soon after they were married, troubles began. The elite launched a vitriolic attack on her for being a conniving seductress who inveigled herself into his affections. Marshmallow was humiliated by their vicious attacks. She felt as if grenades and missiles were launched at her on a daily basis. Although Reginald was devoted to his wife and tried his best to shield her from harm, she was not immune to their remarks. No matter how he tried to allay her concerns, her sensitive nature meant she was susceptible to being deeply affected by their criticisms. She felt uncomfortable with their callous and presumptuous statements about her character. Their prejudice boggled Reginald's mind. Soon after they got married, she became pregnant. She went to see her gynecologist for a routine checkup. A nurse said in an offhand manner it must be great she married a gentleman since she could afford to stay in the first-class maternity ward. That was the final straw. She became delirious and even feral. She grabbed anything within her vicinity and used them as a weapon: a scalpel, a bucket, a broken bottle. Her riotous behavior caused a lot of havoc. Hospital guards heard the cacophony and rushed to the scene to try to break up the fracas. They grabbed her arms so a doctor could inject her with something that would calm her down. She clawed at the door as they hauled her into a room and made claw marks on the door and the door's jamb. As she struggled, her screams perforated the eardrums of the medical staff. A nurse rang her husband and asked him to come to the hospital immediately. It felt almost providential he had cancelled a trip to see a friend who lived far away. Otherwise, he would not have made it to the hospital in time. When he arrived, the doctor informed him his wife suffered from hysteria, a disease only the lower class had. He embellished his explanation with an excessive use of sophisticated words. Reginald lapsed into sullen silence. He was fed up with the doctor's sophistries and affectation. The doctor sounded like a conceited pedant. Reginald was in a conundrum. He was extremely angry at the doctor but didn't want to make things worse for his wife. As the doctor digressed into more anecdotes of how lower-class people have a smaller brain and thus a propensity for becoming hysterical, he declared, "I have had enough of Briarwood. I will show you hysterical." Reginald bit the doctor and caused even more damage to the hospital than his wife. He rescued his wife from the ward. Together, they burned the hospital to the ground. The elites of Briarwood could not condone such behavior. Reginald and Marshmallow were jettisoned from their society. They decided to move to a land far away. Reginald bought a castle for them to live in. They loved their new home's quiescent atmosphere. He had never seen Anna so blissful. She learned to paint, and he learned calligraphy. They lived a peaceful life away from judgmental eyes for the rest of their lives.